The Ballad of Furman University, Greenville, a tragedy in five-star disappointment. Oh, where do I begin, my lovelies? Let me tell you the tale of Furman University, Greenville, a place where dreams go to die, where promises are but whispers in the wind, crushed under the heel of bureaucratic indifference. Gather around, for this is a story of betrayal, false advertising, and enough administrative incompetence to make a grown adult weep into their overpriced coffee. Picture this. A campus so beautiful, it could be plucked from a postcard, rolling green hills, charming brick buildings, the kind of place where you imagine yourself strolling beneath shade trees, lost in deep academic thought. But do not be fooled, my dearest friends. This beauty is but a mask, a cruel illusion behind which lurks a reality so bleak, so utterly disappointing, that you will wonder how such a place still functions. Let us begin with the community, or should I say, the exclusive country club masquerading as an institution of higher learning. You see, Furman University, Greenville, is not for the common folk. It is for the in-crowd, the golden children who waltz through life untouched by struggle. If you were not born into the right circles, prepare to feel like an outsider in your own education. The cliques, oh the cliques. Imagine high school, but with even more pretension and none of the charm. The food, oh, the horror, the ghastly, tragic food. The dining hall is less a place of nourishment and more a monument to mediocrity. Cold, rubbery chicken that could double as a weapon. Salads that whisper secrets of their wilted origins. The scent, like a hospital cafeteria mixed with the faint despair of 1,000 overworked students. The taste, disappointment seasoned with regret. How can one be expected to thrive when their body is sustained by such culinary atrocities? Now, let us discuss the administration if you can find them. They are like ghosts flitting just out of reach, always too busy to address your concerns. You submit a request and what happens? Silence. More silence. And then, if you are lucky, a form letter so generic it could have been written by a bot. I once asked for help with financial aid, the financial aid. A promise made, a promise broken. The numbers shifted like sand beneath my feet, leaving me scrambling, panicked, wondering how I would afford to continue my education in this gilded cage. Oh, the housing. The dorms are relics of a bygone era, cramped, drafty, and smelling faintly of despair. Imagine living in a shoebox but less comfortable. The walls are thin, the space is unlivable, and the price astronomical. For what? The privilege of shivering beneath a thin blanket, questioning your life choices. And let us not forget the professors, the brilliant, utterly inaccessible professors. Some are geniuses, yes, but they exist in ivory towers, too grand to descend to the level of mere undergraduates. Others, they seem to have forgotten they are meant to teach at all, staring at the clock with the enthusiasm of a man awaiting his execution. The academics are theory-heavy, abstract, divorced from the realities of the world beyond Furman's pretty gates. The parking, a joke, a cruel, unfunny joke. If you dare bring a car, prepare for a scavenger hunt that never ends. Every morning is a battle, every spot a mirage. And when you complain, you are met with shrugs, as if the university expects you to simply phase through matter to reach your classes. The diversity, a sham, a pretty portrait for brochures, but in reality, hollow, performative, a checkbox, not a commitment. Inclusion means nothing if it is only skin deep. And then there is the ultimate betrayal, double major debacle. They encourage you to pursue too, dangle the promise before you like a golden apple. And then, at the end, a cold, bureaucratic slap, pick one. Never mind the hours spent, the money poured into both. Never mind that you earned them, the diploma will bear only on.
And you are left.
I am looking into crimes near Furman University, Greenville, and I feel like the whole city is wearing a sad mask. Businesses near Furman University, Greenville are often small storefronts that rely on tourists, and they sometimes hide dishonest tricks behind friendly smiles. A downtown convenience store near the university asked a tourist to pay an extra $50 to activate a gift card. The tourist paid the fee and later discovered the card was never activated. The tourist probably called the police, felt embarrassed and lost the extra money, and the store likely kept the cash because no one pressed charges. The owner may have continued the practice with other visitors. A fake art gallery in the West End, near Furman University, Greenville, claimed the prints were original local works and charged $300 for a small canvas. The couple probably posted a complaint online, felt cheated and returned home with a worthless print. The gallery owner probably avoided legal trouble but lost a few future customers after the story spread. A pawn shop on Augusta Street close to the university sold a used camera for $400, claiming it was rare and perfect. When the tourist returned home, the camera was missing parts and was worth far less. The tourist likely tried to get a refund, felt frustrated, and the shop probably kept the money because the sale was as is. The owner may have faced a warning from consumer agencies. A jewelry store on Main Street near the campus sold a gold chain for $600, telling the visitor it was solid gold. The chain turned out to be plated brass. The visitor probably contacted a jeweler, felt angry, and the store refused a refund, so the owner likely kept the profit and hoped the story would not reach the press. A small clothing shop near Furman University, Greenville, charged a family $50 for a t-shirt that was priced at $25, calling it tourist pricing. The family probably complained, felt taken advantage of, and the shop probably stayed open because no fine was issued. A gift shop at the downtown market sold a Collector S edition map for $20 that was actually a free brochure. The tourists probably demanded their money back, felt annoyed, and the shop likely kept the cash and hoped the incident would fade. An electronics store on Buncombe Street, near the university, sold a used smartphone that would not turn on. The tourist probably tried to return it, felt cheated, and the store likely refused, leaving the victim with a broken device and a loss.
Businesses near Furman University in Greenville are, to put it gently, a mixed bag of disappointment. If you are expecting a pleasant experience, you might want to lower those expectations, way lower. The area is plagued by a pattern of poor service, questionable hygiene, and establishments that seem to operate under the philosophy of good enough rather than excellence. Let us start with the shopping experience. Haywood Mall is the kind of place where optimism goes to die. The mall is riddled with issues, dirty tables, broken infrastructure, and a general sense that management stopped caring years ago. One visitor pointed out a broken drain cover in the parking lot, large enough for a child to fall into. When they tried calling security, no one answered. That should tell you everything you need to know. Then there is the Cheesecake Factory inside, where a customer drove an hour and a half for dessert, only to be met with such terrible service that they left with a cheesecake they no longer wanted to eat. Another reviewer warned about stores selling counterfeit goods at outrageous prices, with employees who respond to criticism by digging up personal information from a decade ago and posting it online. Charming. If relaxation is what you seek, Drift Float Spa will ensure you leave more stressed than when you arrived. The massages are described as the lightest pressure ever, leaving customers in the same pain they walked in with, just now with a lighter wallet. One woman booked a Swedish massage for her mother, who suffers from chronic pain, only for the therapist to ignore the request and give her a deep tissue session instead. The result, 3 days of agony. Then there is the cold plunge, which sent another customer to the hospital with heart complications. The owner's response, indifference, hungry, Pita House might make you regret that decision. The food is often described as cold, sloppy, and barely edible. One diner compared the hummus to something you would scrape off a cafeteria tray. Another left with food poisoning so severe they vowed never to return. The staff. Rude, impatient, and seemingly allergic to basic customer service. One man was insulted in Arabic, assuming he would not understand. He did. And then there is the cash-only policy, because nothing says modern dining experience like refusing credit cards in 2025. Coffee lovers, brace yourselves. Cohesive coffee is where good beans go to die. The drinks are bitter, watered down, and occasionally gritty. One customer described their pumpkin cold brew as horrible, with a mysterious sediment settling at the bottom. Another was given the wrong pastry, then offered a refund with all the enthusiasm of a tax auditor. The baristas, somewhere between indifferent and openly hostile. Bookworms, do not get too excited about M. Judson booksellers. The selection is bizarre, heavy on sports, light on science, and completely devoid of manga, much to one reviewer's fury. The staff, one customer asked for a Bible and was chased out of the store. Another was kicked out for changing a diaper. The store's layout is cramped, the bathrooms take up prime real estate, and the cafe seems like an afterthought. Finally, the Lazy Goat, where Mediterranean dreams go to wither. The paella is described as gluey risotto, the service is non-existent, and the atmosphere is less charming than an Applebee's. One family with celiac disease was served gluten-contaminated food, then ignored when they pointed it out. Another diner waited an hour and a half for a meal that arrived cold and flavorless.